Mike Harding goes over the top on a BBC video which includes some of the best of his 1982 series, plus a little bit more. And it's available now at retailers or by ringing a phone number, which is 01 if you're outside London, and it's 200 0200. That's 01 200 0200. Next Saturday, you can see Carrott's Lib, featuring the pick of the crop of Jasper Carrott's comic Saturday night diversions last year. The best of Carrott's Lib on Saturday at 10:25. Now, with the outlook on the weather for tonight and tomorrow, here's Jack Scott.
Good evening to you. Well, the weather wasn't in a very good bank holiday frame of mind today. This tight depression here went snaking past the northern part of Scotland there, creating these very strong winds right through the country, some quite strong gales blowing today. And in those strong winds, a fair number of showers blowing across in northern areas. The brightest places turned out to be eastern Scotland, northeast England, in the shelter of the mountains, to the west of them, of course. And we also had this front here that carried some rain through the country overnight and then waved back across southern parts to keep rain going in those areas for much of the day. A dull, grey, misty, stormy day it was in the south, and it still is in some of these southern areas with that front still there. Now, the front is going to move away during the night, keeping rain going for a time, and then we'll all of us get into these fairly bright northwesterly winds, but with a fair number of showers about. Weak Ridge, you'll notice, building, but that fella's coming along tomorrow to bring in yet more rain, so the prospect isn't all that great if we look at it over a period of days. And the chart for noon tomorrow shows that happening, with the ridge of high pressure over us by then, but as I say, a fair number of showers in those isobars there, and the warm front threatening to come in from the west all the while and carry rain. So back to tonight's weather, and we still have a lot of that rain around over much of the country now, but it'll get away from these eastern areas during the course of the night and then gradually work its way, the clearer weather, southwards as the night goes by. It might not really get clear of the south coast before morning. It will be a fairly mild night in most places, but not in the far north there, where the showers that are left behind will turn rather wintry as the night goes by. And then tomorrow, well, in many places, a bright start. The rain will get away from the south coast here. Some sunshine in most places, but becoming showery everywhere, I think, during the course of the day. Still fairly windy, a little colder than today, and before the day is through, this rain in the west turning more persistent, and the outlook beyond that, well, still changeable.
I look ahead now at Tuesday night's programmes on BBC Wales. They begin at 6 o'clock with Wales Today, then Nationwide is at 6:25, followed by a cartoon at 5 to 7. The grand final of Junior Kickstart is at 7:05, when young motorcycle riders will be competing for the title of Junior Kickstart Champion. In Top Secret at 7:40, Barry Took and his teams of special investigators, including Dora Bryan, Bernard Cribbins, Chris Kelly and Jan Leeming, meet the people with the secrets and try to persuade them to reveal all. At 8:10, Beatlemania looks at the phenomenal impact the Beatles had on their millions of fans and followers from the Cavern Club in Liverpool to Los Angeles in America. The news is at 9 o'clock, then at 9:25, the first programme in a new series, Love Story, Mr. Right. It's November 1956, and Esther and Gran are living quietly together. Granny has despaired of Esther ever finding a husband. Then she meets a stranger. That's at 9:25. We begin another new series at 5 to 10, and that's Darendorf on Britain. How Britain's decline might be halted and reversed is a personal view in 5 parts by Ralph Darendorf, director of the London School of Economics. After his success on the David Essex showcase recently, Philip Japp stars in his own show with guests Kenny Lynch, Peter Powell, Fiona Richmond and Simon Ward. And our final programme at 11:20 is Men vs. Women, an international golf challenge between Beth Daniel and Jan Stevenson against Bernhard Langer and Greg Norman. And those are programmes this Tuesday night on BBC Wales. And now, just before we leave you, a chance to look at the late news of Wales. The body of the 10-year-old girl from Rhyl, Penelope Bannister, who had been missing since a car crash near St Asaph 6 days ago, has been found in the River Elwy. It was found near a weir about half a mile downstream from the spot where a car in which she was travelling plunged off the road. A Welsh union leader, Fred Taylor of the General and Municipal Workers, believes that water workers are on the brink of the first all-out national strike in the industry over a 4% pay offer. A man who helped to raise hundreds of thousands of pounds for cancer research has died at the Cardiff Royal Infirmary at the age of 69. He was Bryn Calvin Thomas, who was connected with the Cardiff-based charity Ten of Us. A 62-year-old Swansea woman, Beatrice Lloyd, of Chestnut Avenue, West Cross, has been found dead in her smoke-filled bedroom. A man whose body was found in the Pontypool area has been identified as 63-year-old Melvin Ambrose Watkins of Newman Road, Trevithian. And a man who was found on the seawall at Peterston Wentloog near Newport, Donald Aubrey Jones, aged 55, of Dovey Close, Rumney, Cardiff, has died in the Royal Gwent Hospital. Second flood alerts have been issued for the Conwy, Dovey and Mawddach rivers. This means that the probability of flooding over a wide area. And members of the Welsh Language Society have occupied a primary school building at Salem near Llandailo as part of their campaign for the establishment of a Welsh Language Education Development Board. The washing and toilet facilities in 20 primary schools in Gwynedd is below the required standard, according to a report on nursery education which will be considered this week by councillors. And now today's main Welsh soccer results. Norwich 1, Swansea City 0. Brentford 1, Cardiff City 3. Chesterfield 5, Wrexham 1. Newport County 2, Millwall 2. Now the main rugby results. Bridgend 19, South Wales Police 9. Llanelli 12, Newbridge 12. And finally, a special party was held in Cwmbran tonight for a woman who's celebrating her 100th birthday. She's Elizabeth Pike, who lives in a flat at Comanant in the town. And that's the news of Wales. And in fact, that's all we have time for on BBC Wales for the time being, hoping that Miss or Mrs. Elizabeth Pike had a nice party in Comanant. We leave you, and we hope you've enjoyed our programmes this evening and that you'll be able to rejoin us later in the day. The time is 7 minutes past 12, so may I, on behalf of my colleagues here at BBC Wales in Llandaff, in Cardiff, wish you a very good night, wherever you may be. A very good night to you.